As everybody comes in, I just want to thank you guys for being here. If you're watching this by replay, please stay with us. We're excited to bring an exciting show. Have a great guest with us today. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have some Q&A at the end, and we're going to share some great insight. I'm interviewing a great filmmaker here today who is an exceptional friend of mine, great guy, very, very talented person, and I want you guys to meet him here today. I want to give a few minutes for people to join the room. While people are joining, if you're watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Periscope, I want to thank you for being a part of this journey. This is really our second official episode of this show, and we're going to bring you a lot more great content tomorrow. I have a great friend of mine, Saxy Rob Thompson, is going to be playing a live concert at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Please don't miss tomorrow's show, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Saxy Rob will be live from his living room playing great music on the saxophone, and we're going to have a great time tomorrow. I will also be interviewing Rob tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a little promo, and we're going to talk about the show that we'll be hosting live tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So this show is taking off. I'm having a lot of fun. Again, I want to thank everybody who's joining the room. Please share, like, love this broadcast, comment, join us on this, okay? Join us in the conversation. I want to thank Tyler for being here today. Thank you. A loyal fan, a loyal participant on the show. I'm so excited to have you. Can't wait to bring in my guest today. Again, I just want to give people a few more minutes. We are here live. Again, if you're watching this by replay, we are here live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and LinkedIn. And we are so excited to bring this content to you this evening. So I am going to share a little something with you guys. As you guys know, as I shared in previous days, this show is about education, information, education, inspiration, motivation, education, inspiration, motivation. And something I want to do each night is make sure I give you a piece that's either an educational piece, a motivational piece, or an inspirational piece as we open up the show before we bring our guests on. So tonight I just wanted to share that it is the 2-week, it's been 2 weeks exactly since the passing of my mother, Miss Vivian Tindell. And while my heart still hurts, I have a sense of peace that I didn't know I would have at this point. My family has been stronger than I could have imagined. And I just thank God for the time I had with her. So to Miss Viv, my wonderful, wonderful mommy to me, I just want to tell everybody, don't take any time for granted. The loved ones that you have in your life, spend as much time with them as you can. Tell them you love them. Tell them how much they matter to you. Forgive them. There's somebody in everybody's life that we need to forgive. You got to forgive them. You got to forget it. You got to let it go. Don't bring it up. Don't use it as justification for why you don't call as much or why you don't spend as much time with them, because one day you may not have time. Now, I thank God I didn't have that with my mom. We never were at odds, and I'm very grateful for that. But still, so many people have that situation where they're distant from somebody because of some situation that doesn't even really matter, an argument that doesn't even matter. So today I'm going to ask you guys to reach out to somebody after the show and just say, please forgive me if you did wrong, or reach out to them and say, I forgive you for what you've done wrong. Text somebody right now and say, I love you. I'm thinking of you. Okay, that matters. Somebody feels alone. Somebody feels isolated right now. We are all social distancing and quarantined and separated from people we normally engage with. Somebody out there, an extrovert like me out there, is missing the conversations, the love, the hugs, all the things that we normally do when we get together. So reach out to somebody today. It matters. Today matters. Okay. I lost my mom 2 weeks ago. If I could have one more minute with her, if I could have one more day with her, if I could have one more chance to tell her how much I love her and how great she was, I would trade anything to have that. But I don't have that opportunity, but I have it with those that are still in my family. So to all of my friends, family, and loved ones, I love you guys. Everybody who's been supporting this broadcast, thank you so much. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being a part of this journey. We're so excited to keep bringing you guys great content. I promise that I'm going to keep giving you guys great motivation, inspiration, education, and sharing my heart with all of you. So thank you again for being here. Please share this broadcast here tonight, whether you're on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, or LinkedIn. We'd love for you to share this broadcast so that others can become a part of this great family that we're building here. So today, I have a special guest. He is a film producer. I've worked with him myself in creating videos, content. There's some content on my YouTube page that he created. Some of the very first pieces I ever put out this man was behind. He has done exceptional work in the community. He's done work nationally for sports events, for music festivals, for so many different people, so many different things. He's made commercials and films and so many wonderful, wonderful things. So I'm going to kick off tonight by showing you a piece of his work, and we're going to watch a couple clips throughout tonight. So please stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. And then there's going to be a special piece at the end that's going to show some of his upcoming work and something that he's going to be sharing with us. So I'm going to play right now a quick clip from our special guest tonight. Check this out. And we have the creator of this wonderful piece right here in our broadcast, Mr. Rashaud Polk. Welcome to the broadcast, my friend. How are you tonight? I'm gonna I'm gonna unmute your mic. My man,
that'll work. That'll work. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm encouraged, man, and just working, man.
Awesome. There's a lot of people showing you a lot of love. You can't see all these people. I'm going to shout out a few people just to thank them. As I said, Tyler's here. Andrea, thank you for being here. Claudia, Angela, Montel, Stefan, Corinne, Melita, Lindsay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your comments. My man Antonio Hall is here on LinkedIn. We got people everywhere tuned in. We have over 50 people watching this right now. We're excited to be with all of you. Our numbers are growing every day. Thank you guys who keep joining. Thank you all who are participating. You don't want to miss this show. We're doing some great things. We have some great guests. And tonight I'm excited to interview my friend Rashaud Polk. So Rashaud, people are saying that piece was fire. People are excited about it. Tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get into filmmaking? How did you become the man you are today?
I actually got into filmmaking by accident, man. Like I said, we talked about it many, many times. I don't want to get into too much detail because it's actually pretty miraculous, and I want to make it a movie.
All right.
Go figure. But long story short, I started off in music. Everybody knew me. I was in the band. I wanted to play football. That's another story. But I was in the band, and I learned a lot of things in the band, and timing, and just how to be a performer and how to understand performance. And so I naturally went into music, everybody was making beats back in the day. I started making beats. It's pretty decent at that. And then I went to the recording workshop, and I started teaching, and I actually became a college professor at 23 at the recording workshop in Chillicothe, which was I was pretty proud of myself for that. But as an artist, you get bored. And so I was like, I want to take it to the next level. I can do my own thing. And so I came up. Consequently, my mother was kind of sick at the time. But I came up here and started my own studio. And that lasted, after I built it with my bare hands, literally, it lasted for about 2 months. And the building caught on fire. And all the money I put in, everything that I had, all the effort, the time. Like I said, my mother was sick. She ended up passing away during that process. So I ended up getting a little bit of inheritance money. I put all of that money into that building that I didn't own, which was a mistake. But I was grieving, and that was my way of just trying to make things right for myself. and it went up in flames. And so I just was at a loss. The only thing I had left was a camera and a computer, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take some time off. I'm a social distance from social media and everything for about 4 years, and I taught myself how to be a filmmaker. And yeah, you actually, your wife gave me an opportunity. One of the scenes was in that clip. That was one of the first pieces I ever did. Was a trailer for her book. So again, thank you, Corinne. But yeah, and since then I just never looked back, and I just been making films ever since.
That's awesome. Awesome. Rashaud, I'm going to ask you if you could turn your speakers down just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are hearing me echoing a little bit.
Is that better?
Can you guys, am I echoing still? I think it's a little bit. You're still going to be able to hear me, I suppose.
Yeah, I can hear you. Is it down?
You guys, let me know on my, everybody in here. Can you guys see that? Hey, Jez. Hey, Elisa. Thank you. Somebody said amazing journey. Your story is already moving people. How did things sound? Some people in the comments, thank you guys so much. You guys said that I was sounding echoey. I still hear echo. Okay. Can you turn it down just a little bit? Or if you're not going to be able to hear me, that's not going to work either. So we want to test that out.
I turned it. Hold on, is that better?
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
I think there's still a little bit of an echo, but I think we'll be okay. Jerome West, thank you for being here. People are saying great story.
Wow.
This man, Jerome West said, the great Rashaud Polk, this man makes visions come alive.
Oh man. All right, Jerome, man. I appreciate you, brother.
That's a powerful, powerful statement. I'm going to change something on mine just to make sure. I'm going to just check on my end. Okay, I think we should be okay. You guys, I apologize. Okay, Corinne said it's better. Charles Grantham, my man, welcome to the show. They said that's better. It's getting better. All right, so the echo is getting better. All right, cool. We're working it out. I want to thank you guys for staying tuned as we work through these things. It's so awesome to see so many eyes on the broadcast. So many people are in the room. So many people are participating. We're honored to have you here on the show with us today. So I'm going to check back with my LinkedIn crew. Let me make sure I'm acknowledging people who are watching us on LinkedIn. We have people there as well. So Rashaud, excellent story about how you got into this. And people don't know, how do you, just because you decided to do that, how did you refine your skill? Because everybody watching has a skill to do something. They may be a filmmaker, they may be someone who sews, they may be somebody who writes, they may do IT, They may be a coach, they may be a number of things. And everybody is trying to refine their skill and get better at what they do. How did you get so good at making films? What did you do?
I'm sorry, you got to forgive me. I kind of cringe when people say that, only because I always watch people who are 10 times better than me, and it's very humbling. But to get to the level where I am now, currently, I really didn't have much guidance except for the timing aspect that I talk about in band. I knew timing. I knew when things felt right. And so because I didn't have any formal instruction, I had to just trust my gut on a lot of things. And so what I would do is I would watch things and I would try to mimic them. And so my thing was I wanted to make movies. So I wanted to make everything look like a movie. And so what I would do is I would go film something and then I would bring it home and I would process it to try to make it look like the movie. And in that process, I learned how to cut. I learned how to do color correction. I learned how to do camera movement. And it's just something that I just kept building on and building on. But I would say the biggest thing was messing up. When I would get a shoot, I would get a gig, somebody would believe in me, and I would just jack it up. And I couldn't tell them that I jacked it up. So what I would have to do is I would have to go into my computer and pull out every trick that I had to make it presentable. And once I did that so many times, then I started to remember the mistakes that I made, and I quit making them. And I was able to push myself, and I know when to push myself, how to push myself. Again, the whole timing thing. A lot of times people think that it's about what you know how to do. And there is a level, but once you get to that level of knowing how to do, it's knowing when to do. That is the magic. That is when you develop yourself and your style as a filmmaker. And that's something I'm still working on. But
Yeah.
it seems to be working out right now.
It seems to be working out pretty good. We're going to show them some other clips here tonight as well. I want to make sure we have time for that. So we're going to get to another one here in just a minute. But I love what you said about it is learning through your mistakes.
Yeah.
You learn through failure. So to everybody out there watching and listening, assuming you guys are watching a 2-day-old show. This is the second day of the show, right? We did a couple practice runs over the course of the week, and you guys joined with us and participated in it. I thank you guys so much for being willing participants. And one day this is going to be a huge show, and you guys are going to be like, I remember we were on, and there were 50 people in the room, and we were having a good time. And it's going to get bigger and bigger. But we're learning through our mistakes. We had some echoes going on earlier, and we're learning that way. So whatever you have going on, the key is execute, right? There's a guy named Seth Godin who wrote many books. One of them is called Lynchpin, but he talks a lot about shipping and delivering. He said you got to ship and deliver. Too often people are in the paralysis of analysis. They want to do a podcast. They want to do a show. They want to make a film. They want to be a photographer. They want to do a wedding. If you want to do a wedding, go ask somebody if you can come take pictures. Now, if it's your first time, you may not want to be the paid person. You may not want to be the only person.
Right.
But just say, here we go.
Right.
Can I come? And whatever I get that's good, you can have for free if you let me do it for free, right? So
Absolutely.
we have to take chances to hone our skills. A basketball player is going to find a court. A soccer player is going to find a field. A golfer is going to find somewhere to practice. We all have to get out there and start doing our thing. So
Hey, you know what? Real quick, I know you're getting ready to play something. I don't want to stop your flow, but I do want to point something out, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, Lucas has held me accountable on so many occasions, man. He's a nice dude, man, but like when he come down, like it hurts. It hurts. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know, like you said, the what you say, the paralysis of analysis. As an artist, that plagued me for years. I mean, like years. I was still getting gigs, but my delivery was slow. I mean, they would love the product, but my delivery was slow. And I have to credit I got some TV work. I'm no longer with them now. No hard feelings. Love them. They taught me a lot. And they taught me was pressure either busts pipes or makes diamonds.
Right.
And when you dealing with live TV and you got a minute to edit something and get it, you don't have time to be paralyzed. You have to learn how to make decisions. And I think as an artist, that is the hardest thing for artists to do, is be able to make decisions and let some things go and let some things ride. And so once you start to refine that, like I did a commercial with you for that particular TV station. The last time I did something with you was for the book. And that took, you were very patient with me. I appreciate it.
It was cool.
Very patient.
I didn't know.
But you said, like, when I did that commercial for you, it had to be done at 2:00 the next day.
Wow.
And so there was no time to, you know what I mean? Like, to be an artist about things, I had to make a decision to make it happen. And that experience really taught me and really honed my skills in that regard.
That's awesome. I love it. There's something called Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law says as long as we have to do a thing is as long as it will take to do the thing. Okay, so it is the law of procrastination. We all think that we are all individual procrastinators, not realizing everybody you know is a procrastinator. For the most part. The outliers are the people that don't procrastinate. The majority of us are procrastinators. If you're a procrastinator, type a 1 in the comment box if you've been a procrastinator a time or two. And I'm going to see how long it takes them to type the 1 because they procrastinate. They're like, I don't know if I want to type a 1 in the comment box because I don't know if I want to admit to that. Type a 1 in the comments if you have found yourself at times to be a procrastinator, because I know I have. And we all have a level of procrastination because of something called Parkinson's Law, which just explains that when you have a deadline, it often forces you to do things faster. So the shorter the deadline, the faster you get it done. You ship and deliver, as Seth Godin says. All right, we got some people saying one. All these ones just popped up at once. Everybody's like, procrastination nation is going on right now.
Man,
it's happening. So people are very familiar with that. So thank you guys for your honesty. Thank you for your participation in the show. Charles Grantham said definitely not a procrastinator. I think he's joking. I'm pretty sure he's joking. Bianca said she's definitely a procrastinator. Thank you guys for participating. This is a lot of fun. Thank you guys for being here. All right, let's check out another piece. Rashaud, you want to set this piece up? Tell us a little bit about this right before I go ahead and play this piece.
Absolutely. There was a gentleman who I met. Actually, he was very good friends with my father. Worked at the Stark Attention Center, and became a police officer. And I met him. He said he wanted to do some work. I said, okay, cool. Let's do a little promo. Um, Procrastination. The promo ended up taking about a year to do,
Right.
right? So in the
Okay.
process of that year, some things had happened, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to document what has happened over, you know what I'm saying, the course of this year. And
Right.
then, some other things were starting to happen for him again. I said, so I'm just going to keep filming. And so then we got to a point to where we were able to bring the story not to a close, but bring it to a pause. This gentleman's name
Mm-hmm.
is Officer Lamar Sharp. Um, he
Yeah.
he's just an awesome guy, man, and
You guys know
his heart
Officer
is
Sharp.
just
He's
in the right
special.
place. And you're actually in the
Yeah.
documentary as well, the full documentary.
I,
You are.
I think I
But
remember me popping in there for a second.
yeah, absolutely, man. But it was a great experience, man. So Officer Lamar Sharp documentary, it's free to download at his website. You guys can check it out. Great experience, great guy.
Awesome. Let's check out "Be a Better Me" by Rashaud Polk.
My mom made me out there, and I asked her why. Like, why does this keep happening?
It was almost like everyone I felt like my age were walking on eggshells.
What is wrong with this city?
I didn't believe it at all.
And from that point on, I became afraid.
What is wrong with us?
It was like Canton was that burning house fire. Either we gonna leave right now, or we gonna kick this door down and we gonna save everybody. We decided to kick that door down. We decided to come together. We decided to fight together. We laughed and we cried together. We all inspired each other to be greater. We just decided to be better.
Awesome piece.
Thank you.
Awesome piece.
Thank you, man.
I'd love to hear you guys in the comments. What do you think? Or if you guys have any questions for Rashaud, we want to take a few questions now as well. Rashaud, that was a special piece again, something to highlight somebody in the community. You were telling us a little bit more before about how you got involved with Officer Sharp. This project for you, I'm guessing, and I could tell when I worked with you on a little piece of it, it was a labor of love.
Man, yeah, it was like I said, of course, I wanted to pay my bills at first. I said, let's do a promo. The amount of footage and amount of work, there is no way in the world that I would even attempt to charge somebody that's not in the music or in the film industry what it would cost to do something like that. And when I was with him, watching him with the kids, I didn't want to charge him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times people say, get what you're worth and everything, but that was a different situation. You watch the documentary, some very touching things happened. And I saw a man persevere when I myself would have ran. Like, no question, I would have been gone. I would have not been in this city anymore. And
Yeah.
he stayed and persevered and actually took it to the next level. And that, just to be a part of a story like that was just so inspiring. And like I said, I wasn't the only person that took notice. Mike Rowe, the guy that did Dirty Jobs, he actually came and
Right.
did a piece on him and filmed him, and that got 1 million views. And because of that, I got some views. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so it was just it was just great, man. And I will say this though, doing pieces like that are very. I'm a very emotional guy. You know, I'm
Sure.
a, you know, a lot of people that know me, I've been made fun of my whole life for being that way, but it
Somebody
has
said
worked
earlier,
out. You know what I
Rashad is
mean?
being vulnerable.
But
Somebody
that
thanked you.
piece was so hard to edit because of the things that happened. It was, I mean, I literally like for a week I was paralyzed, not because I was procrastinating. It was just I didn't want to deal with the things that had to come out vocally and visibly in that documentary. And
Right.
I cried a lot when I edited that.
Wow.
But once I got through it, man, it was one of the best works that I've done. So,
That's awesome.
in my opinion.
I think it was very touching for the city. I know there was a live watch party.
Yeah.
People came out, and it was huge for the community. We have Jaylene Roberts here.
Oh my! Oh, listen. Oh, I listen. I can't cry on live TV, bro. I
Okay.
can't. Listen,
You
this
can.
was the first.
You
This was the first woman I interviewed,
can.
and for her to have gone through what she went through, and for her to open up to me, like you would think somebody who had lost a son or daughter, or you would think that they would have some sort of bitterness or some sort of something to where, like, no, she was like, no, come, I want to meet you, let's talk. I met, and I'm like, how did this happen to you? Like, that's the only thing I could, like, it was that right there made me realize that I had to do this film. I had to do this film, not only for Officer Sharp, but for everybody who was going through what we were going through at the time in the city, especially her. I had to do that for her. And I know you want a copy. I said I would get you a copy. I have it. I thought I emailed it to you, but if I didn't email it to you, please email me. I will get it to you. It's available on Officer Sharp, so you can take a look at it whenever you want to and have it as well.
That's awesome. Jaylene, thank you so much for being a part of that project. Jaylene is someone who I've known for many years. Jaylene and I worked together at McKinley Early Childhood Center. We worked with children together for many years. I know all of her children. I was there working with them, teaching them, hopefully being a positive impact and a positive influence on their lives. I knew her son, who was kicking. Jalen, great guy, great kid, great athlete, protective kind of guy. He loved his mom.
Yeah.
He was a good big brother. He loved his siblings. And for such a senseless act to take his life was such a sad thing for us and for the city, and for all those people who loved him, and for all of us who love Jaylene and her family and her children and her mom. I still see her mom all the time. And we still are here for you. It's important for us as a community not to forget those things, because for so many of us, when a tragedy happens, we're in it in the moment. When it's still live in our news feed on social media, we still care. We're still thinking about it. We're still sending our condolences and our love. But after the show goes off, after the curtains close, after that moment of impact goes away and the newspaper stops telling the story, we all go back to our lives. And we forget there's still mothers out there grieving, fathers out there grieving, family members out there grieving the loss of young people due to senseless violence. So, Rashaud, thank you for telling that part of the story. And to Officer Sharp out there, he knows we love him. He knows how much the city loves him. But if you don't know Officer Sharp, please reach out. Please check him out. Please look him up. He's doing some great things. So, Jaylene, we love you. In memory of
Absolutely.
Jaylene. Thank you also, Rashaud, for doing that piece. Now, Rashaud, what I would like to do is share another piece that you did. This is an important piece for what we're going through right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to cue this up, and you tell us a little bit about this piece. Why? I mean, why? Like, we're all supposed to be in the house hiding, and as the quarantine was rolling out, there was a lot of discussion and a lot of debate about what was going on, how true it was, how real it was, how bad it was. And you took to your skill, to your art, and you wanted to make a statement, and you wanted to put a piece out there for people to understand. So tell us a little bit about this piece.
All right. So it's entitled Empathy. What what I was encountering in my personal life was there were some people who were close to me who I didn't think were understanding how close it was to us. Because we're watching the news, we're seeing it in China, we're seeing it in Italy, we're seeing it, all these other places.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm an emotional person, so I'm like, yeah, this is something that could happen to us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is something that could come home, and nobody was getting it. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me do this before they shut everything down. And let me do this. And I worked with a great group of people, Hispanic filmmakers, Alyssa Clark, amazing. We're going to do some amazing work with the Cleveland
Awesome.
Foundation here coming up real soon. But she got all the people together. I wrote the script. She got the people together, provided the location. It was very efficient, and we had to do it fast, and we turned it around in a day, and there it is.
Here it is.
The flu has killed as many as 56,000 people. What's the big deal?
So what's the big deal?
So what's the big deal?
People die every day, B.
People die every day.
But the thing is, just because people die does not mean it's okay to be careless.
Because it's not.
Especially when we can help.
No, I don't think we should panic.
But I do think that we all need to take this seriously.
The truth is, some of us will get sick.
But if we all do our part,
We can stop it from spreading. Limit going out.
And if you do go out,
limit close contact and wash your hands often.
if you do think you were exposed,
Or you're showing signs of infection.
Please seek immediate medical attention.
So, I promise to wash my hands.
I promise to sanitize.
And for now,
and for now,
I promise to keep my distance.
I will not be careless with my life
Or your life.
or your life.
it's not just about me.
It's about everyone.
it's about us all.
Love it, love it, love it, man.
Man,
Rashaud,
stop, man.
all I can say, man, I was like, he did it again, right? You finished this project. I mean, how long did you shoot this project? I mean, how long did it take to shoot this?
So I wrote it. Like I said, I got in an argument with somebody, and that's kind of how it came about. And all the things that we talked about, those are actually the talking points in that particular piece. So I wrote that on Monday. We were originally supposed to do it at the Ohio Media School, but then they shut that down, so we couldn't even get in. And so we had to do it at another location. So that pushed us back to Thursday. And so we recorded it on Thursday, and it was released on Friday.
Wow.
So,
wow. I remember you reached out to me. You said you had something special. I feel like you were working on it. I don't know, but I just know the turnaround time was incredible. I was like, he can't be done with this thing. You're like, yeah, we shot that yesterday. I was like, what? How?
man,
Right?
like I said, I really had to. That was, like I said, that was my Achilles heel. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you're a believer, you know what I mean. I don't know who all are believers, but if you're a believer, the Father has a way of chiseling you, and He put me in a situation where I had to be efficient. I had no other choice but to be efficient, and it chiseled me, and I definitely I worked on that. So that was awesome, man. That was an awesome experience, and it's paid dividends through, you know what I'm saying, since then. So I'm actually pretty proud of myself, man.
Man, everybody out here is loving it. There's so much love coming through right now from
so
everybody. And what I want to say is, I think it's so important for all of us to continue to share this message. This is available. Is this available on YouTube?
Yes, available on YouTube.
Okay.
Now I will say this, because Elisa will probably be texting me here in a minute. That was actually the first version. The Hispanic filmmakers, they were a huge part of this, and their logo is actually on the finished version, which is on my YouTube channel. I'll get you that link. You can share it. But Hispanic filmmakers, like I said, I wouldn't have been able to do that without them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that it's so important for all of us to realize during this crazy time that we can do our part, right?
Absolutely.
Empathy is understanding the pain that others may be in or the feelings that others may be having. And it's so important for us to realize that not having empathy toward others is costing people lives because
Exactly.
people want to say, well, I want to do what I want to do. And we're very American about this thing. And Americans say, I have the right to do everything. Right. I have the right to go where I want to go and do what I want to do. And I don't have to wear masks and I don't have to stop living my life. I'm an American. I have rights. But with those rights come responsibility. So we have to realize we have a responsibility to vulnerable members of our society that are losing their lives daily because we're not taking simple precautions. Maybe you think that the government is blowing it out of proportion. Maybe you think there's some great conspiracy. I don't know, but I do know that there's people dying every day.
Yeah.
And there's people dying every day as a result of this virus, and anything we can do to help save lives. And what I want to encourage people to do is take some of the things we're doing now and keep doing it, right? I didn't know. I thought I was a great hand washer, Rashaud. I thought I was the best. I thought I washed my hands with the best of them, all right? Especially as a guy, because as a guy, you can go in the men's restroom and you see dudes just leave, right?
Yeah.
They do their thing and they loud. I'm like, I'm at least washing my hands for a good 8 to 10 seconds. Right?
Listen, I'm not going to tell them myself, but
Go ahead.
I wash my hands a lot right now, and sanitizer. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So now I've realized I wasn't doing it adequately.
Right.
I wasn't really doing a great job with it. I wasn't doing it. I've realized that I'm washing my hands better because my hands are so dry. That's how I learned that my hand washing. Your hand wash is on point if your hands is dry. If your hands aren't dry,
right,
you're not washing your hands right, or you're using some soft soap, which I don't even think kills germs. I don't know, but I've also realized that I didn't have the best soaps either. So I've been working that out lately, and I'm proud to continue on these, with these habits and being safe and being cautious. And we also have to realize that when we're wearing masks, the mask that we have, the cloth mask, it's to protect others, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing, man. I think we really need to understand that once this is all over and everybody goes back outside, man, we got to keep washing our hands, man. We got to keep, you know what I mean? Like let's do everything that we can to try to prevent something like this from happening again, at least at this level. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, Rashaud, we got a comment from Elisa here.
Oh, there it is.
Here it is. She said,
yes. Yes. The PSA is also in Spanish. We did 2 versions. We did a Spanish version. Now, I had no idea what they were saying.
Okay.
When I was editing the Spanish version. But Elisa helped me out a lot, man. Like I said, man, wonderful people, man. She's awesome, man. She's making some big moves up there in Cleveland. Like I said, we got some big things cooking, man. So please, everybody, keep your prayers, send your prayers up for that. Elisa Clark is an awesome person, man. She is the president of Women in Film in Cleveland.
Awesome. President of Women in Film. You guys go make sure you're following and connected to Elisa Sanders Clark here. Elisa Sanders Clark. Definitely want to be connected to her and follow the work that they're both going to be doing. It's amazing to know filmmakers. We all put a lot of time and money into watching films and shows, and we don't know what it takes. Rashaud and I were on here earlier setting up for this show. We're in remote locations. And we were talking about the time it takes even just to set up to do something like this.
Right.
It takes time. So you've seen that. So Rashaud, real quick, tell us a little bit about behind the scenes. You've worked on sets. You've done sports. You've done weddings. You've done commercials.
Man,
movies. We watch film on TV and we think, it's just, seems pretty simple. My camera works good too. I could do it too. What does it take really to make something great?
It's crazy. I was watching something today, and it was a movie that I was familiar with, and it was a motorcycle scene, and I just took for granted, they filmed that on a green screen, right? But I didn't realize that there were 20 people in green suits moving the motorcycles. I didn't realize the green screen was actually moving. I didn't. You see what I'm saying? It's so much that goes into it, and in order to do that efficiently, you have to plan. So if you think about this, if you see a movie, let's just say a movie comes out 2010, they have been planning this movie since 2017.
Wow.
They've been planning it and writing it meticulously, figuring out how they're going to execute to save.
So we see a movie in 2020. They've been planning it since 2017.
Exactly. So then, by the time they shoot it, they may shoot it in 2018, 2019, but then you have a whole nother year of editing and special effects and sound and all of that, just so it can get it to you, so you can give it 2 tomatoes on Rotten Tomatoes because you didn't like the plot line. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it is what I've learned in the filmmaking process. It's a little bit different than TV, but the filmmaking process is a lot of planning. It's literally mostly planning. By the time somebody like me gets there, the DP or director of photography, it's the fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting stuff. I'm moving the camera around, and I'm doing the fun stuff. And then it goes back to the grind of the editing and putting it together and making sure that it's crispy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Elisa said, "Women in Film and TV Ohio, love to connect with everyone. Rashaud is an amazing filmmaker and a great friend. Super proud to know him and work with him. I am too. It's been great. It's a great journey. I also want to shout out my cousin Sharon Lucas. Let me just say, she did want to make a correction to what I said earlier. See, I got fact checkers on here.
Oh, okay.
It kills germs. Okay, but she said, regardless of what you use, keep washing your hands.
Keep washing your hands. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The clarity there. I appreciate the clarity there. So back to Elisa, thank you so much for being engaged with this and for the work that you two did together. Rashaud, I know you've worked with a lot of different people. You've done things with people. You've done things by yourself. You've done things off of somebody else's vision. You've done things off your own creative vision. I had the pleasure of working with you to do some work straight to camera. I never did better than when I was working with you because you always gave me the confidence to know what I was doing right. And you had a way of saying, we got to redo that. But it wasn't because you blew it. It was because there's another way to get it. And we want to get another angle. We're going to do it a little different. Right. What is it like working with different people? And how do you find a way to bring your piece to the table with various teams?
Man, you really have to just know your place in the particular project. For instance, I did a web series and it was a great project. But at the time, I was very ambitious. I wanted to be the director. I wasn't the director. I was the DP. My job was to execute their vision. Stacey Malone, if you're watching, Kevin Taylor, if you're watching, great working with you guys. They gave me my start up there. But that taught me that, hey, sometimes you need to step back. And then, just like always, an opportunity will present itself where maybe a director won't show up. Now that's your chance to direct. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to respect the position that you're given. And then some projects I've been on where they said, hey, we just have this idea. What do you think? Boom. There you go. Right. So because I'm self-taught, I kind of learned the roles backwards. Because to me, I just saw you have to get from point A to point B. So I had to wear all the hats to get from point A to point B. And then once I realized, like, wait a minute, you guys just gonna pay me just to move the camera around and do the fun stuff? Like, I don't have to talk? That's when I realized, I was like, okay, this is something that I really want to get into. Because, I like to direct, but I really, if somebody's better at directing, just let me move the camera. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do.
You make it sound so simple. Let me move the camera. Like that's all you're doing. Let me just move the camera around a little bit. Like it's that simple. So obviously it takes a lot more. I've seen you with your little devices and vests on and whole suits. And you've been walking around looking like a robot. I'm like, what is that? He like, don't worry about it. I got this. Right. So
absolutely, man.
We really know that it's so much more to it. You make it sound so easy. What I'd love to do right now, and we're gonna is take some questions from the audience. So I did type in, everybody, please send in your questions. If you have a question for Rashaud, please send them in now. We'd love to answer some questions, do some quick Q&A. And then we have one more piece we want to share with them. We have one more piece we want to do. Okay, we have another person who just made a comment. Imanda said, I've had the pleasure of working with him. He is an awesome individual and one outstanding filmmaker.
Oh my gosh, yes. You guys are being nice right now. You guys, you guys are being nice. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yep. He is great to where I was there. I remembered with some good stuff. Other questions that you guys have, please, now's your time. Type in your question if you have a question for Rashaud. Maybe you're interested in filmmaking. Maybe you're trying to pursue a goal or a dream of your own. Maybe just have a question about the creative process. I know some people who say, I'm very creative, I have a lot of ideas, I just don't know how to narrow down to one. To everybody, I tell you guys, you have to ship and deliver. You got to find a way to narrow it down or get started on something. You got to get started on something. All right, you got to get started on something. So Rashaud has found a way to get things moving, had great opportunities. Somebody said earlier, I want to get back to my man Mark Bigsby said, give the man $100,000 so he can make the film he wants. It's time. All right. Mark
Hey,
said
you know
he's putting
what?
up half too. He's putting up 50,000. You know what I mean? I don't know if he said that, but we need to get
Mark,
this man some money.
Man, Mark, thank you so much. I'm gonna be honest, man. I was astonished at what filmmakers really make. When you get in a union and you I'm not in a union, but when you get in a union and you look at the money that filmmakers make, I'm like, I don't know why they're not teaching this in school and telling people how much.
Really?
Oh my, it is. Let me just give you an example. So let's just say I'm a director in a union, right? Somebody approaches me and they want me to do a movie. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna listen to you guys read this script for 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, I could say, you know what? That's not for me. I need $270,000 for my time.
Mm-hmm.
Just for reviewing a script.
Wow.
200 and I was like, okay, yeah, this is now to get in the union, right. it takes some work. You got to do you got to pay your dues. But just to understand that those type of opportunities exist on the creative front, you know what I mean? Like that is very, very encouraging, and hopefully I make it to that point, man.
I love it. I have Sharice Grantham here on LinkedIn. I can't pull her comment up, but Sharice says, "What is your dream? What is your dream film project? What's your dream film project?"
Oh, all right. So my dream film project is and this kind of goes to philosophy that I carry with me. Like I just film my best friends. You see what I'm saying? Like I film the people that I know. Every time I meet somebody famous, they're just normal people, and they just have great stories. And so my dream project, Sharice, is to do a movie called College. I've already written it. It is actually about my college experience. Most of you who know me will know that I did not actually graduate college. I was able to somehow become a college professor without graduating college, wow. Which was just a testament to the gift that I've been given, and I'm very humbled by that. But I had a lot of friends who did graduate college. Yeah. And that time in my life really shaped my character and shaped the character of my friends. Just recently we had a wedding right before they closed everything down, and we all got together, minus a few of us, for the first time in like 10 years. And that's all we talked about was those times, because it shaped our character as adults, man. And I just want to share that story with people, man. Like, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to, you know what I mean? You don't have to be LeBron. Yep. Shout out to LeBron, but you don't have to be LeBron. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, you can really make a difference, and you can make you can make a difference in the world that we live in, even if you're selling phones, if you're making films for your best friends, or you're a social worker or a teacher or a principal. You know what I mean? Like all of these characters, all of these titles are now part of my friends. My friends are teachers and social workers, but before we were just college students having fun and almost killing ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, so just to share that story, that coming of age story, man, that would be my dream project. Sharice, if you have $100,000, I can make that happen right now. If you have
$100,000, he'd love to do it. Anybody with $100,000, just please let us know. The man is ready to go, and you'll get a return on your investment. You're not just throwing $100,000 away, right? Right. You'll get a return on your investment when this movie goes big and it's at the box office and it's blowing up, and you're watching how many millions it made in one weekend. You get your money back. Let's go. All right. So, absolutely. If anybody wants to invest. We have Hubert Carpenter. Pastor Hugh said, "Tell Rashaud, great guy, just don't know football talk." Apparently, you guys get into some beats.
You know what? Hold on. Give me 1 second, real quick.
Hugh, I don't know what you done made this man leave.
You know, I took this off. I took this off to do the show, but just because.
Okay, good. I appreciate that. I like
just
that.
Because. Now,
Beat Maslin.
I'm not going. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to censor it. I don't want to.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good.
My fault. Right, this is a family show. This is a family show. I don't.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know, Rashaud and I graduated from the great Canton McKinley, and unfortunately, Hubert graduated from Washington Maslin
Ugh.
Tigers, and
Sorry, bro.
they're working on it. They're working
Yeah.
on it. It stinks. Maslin stinks. I mean, it stinks. It's something going on. I don't know what it is. I think it's water treatment, or it's the football team, or it's the. I tell you what doesn't stink is their recruiting skills. So they're really good at it.
Right.
They got to keep that up. They're amazing.
They got that down pat.
Group. Brian Buchanan. Where I lost his comment. My man Brian Buchanan. Little brothers, I appreciate you both. I'm so proud of you guys. Brian, thank you so much for the love and support.
Absolutely, man. Brian, I'm coming to see you, bro. It's happening.
It's a great guy right there. Let's see where we got Joy Ellis, full of talent, worthy investment. Joy Ellis is an amazing singer. She's an amazing actress. I can't wait till Joy's on Broadway. She's a Tiger. Unfortunately, she just threw up a TIG. I'm going to forgive her for that.
Joy, yeah, she could pass. She get a pass. You know what? She gets a pass. She gave my daughter singing lessons.
She gave my daughter singing lessons.
So she gets a pass. And yeah. So we're good, Joy. We're good.
You guys check out Joy Ellis. Joy did a virtual lesson with my daughter some years ago. So I'm sure if she could do a virtual lesson then, she can do virtual lessons now. If you're looking for singing lessons, she's a singer. She's an actress. She's a performer. Has done some amazing stage plays. I think they were just recently doing Sister Act at the Palace Theater in Canton. I saw her in something else. I wanted to say Dreamgirls, but I think it was something else. But very, very talented. Very glad to have you here on the show. Glad to shout you out. We now have Tigers and Pups arguments going on in the thing. It's all good.
Wow.
But we have a question here from Josh Lee. He said, how do you handle the fear of underperforming in your beginnings? Do you still feel the pressure now? Great question. Rashaud?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. Like I said, I realized that the pressure actually makes me better. So I constantly look at people that are steps ahead of me. But the fear of underperforming, I can honestly say I don't have that anymore. Only because I've been in, like, for weddings. I've done over 100 weddings. So every time I walk into a wedding, it's almost like they're like, man, you just kind of lackadaisical. And I'm like, whoop, already got the shot. I'm just chilling. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you go into a film project, there's so much planning that goes in. It's almost like you're just going in to execute. And so because I've been in those experiences, I'm comfortable now. I will say this: I am not the special effects guy. That is not my forte. If someone were to throw me into that, I think I would come out on top. But yeah, I would definitely have that. I would have some sort of anxiety. But to be honest, man, I've trusted my gift this far. I trusted my gut, man. So I wouldn't say fear, little uncertainty, but I would be anxious to see the final product.
Awesome. And we got to get out there. We got to face those fears. We got to go for it. So everybody's in the beginning of something. So everybody has an idea, something they want to do. We got to do it. That's what the show is today. This is episode number 2. We're living, we're learning, we're trying out new things. I got a great group of people here supporting us. You guys are showing love, participating, engaging, and it's all good. At the end of the day, people want to see other people win. People talk so much about haters, and they forget to say that there's a lot of people who want to see other people win. Because when they see other people win, it tells them that they too can be a winner. They too can have success. Success is not limited. We're not playing a finite game where only a few people win. Everybody can win. I'm so excited. I wanted to shout out my friend Kyle Stone, who I know was on live this evening. I'm not sure if he still is, doing Bible study. There's other people going live with shows and other things. My man Marcus McFolling is going to be going live today or tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. There's so many people doing great things. There's room for everybody. So that's what I'm about. People who have their own shows and things, I want to bring them on here and talk to them, and I'll go on their shows. And there's room for everybody. There's like 1,000 TV channels, right? So if there's room for all that madness, there's certainly room for all of us to win. So we got to get out there and do our thing. We got to get out there.
And let me piggyback on that real quick, if I may. Josh Lee, I've known Josh Lee for a while now. Actually, I led a scripture study with him, and he asked some very, very hard questions. It was a long time ago. But Josh Lee is actually a filmmaker as well, and he is awesome. And there's some things that you can't teach. Just like in sports, there's some things that you can't teach. Josh Lee has it. So please, Josh, don't take any of my jobs yet till I get.
Right.
But hey, he's nice. I just want to throw that out there, man.
That's awesome. You guys follow Josh Lee.
I know we got to keep it moving, but like I said, when we met before, I think I shared this with you. I had this vision of having a network of people just doing positive stuff, and
Yeah.
I actually made that I made that prevalent in my life, and that's something that I use every day, and I see it happening right now, even in the midst of this uncertainty, man. And this, I think that if we all come together, man, we can do something really special for this city and for the world, to be honest.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I want to answer one more question, which is going to lead us into our next piece. The beautiful Corinne Marie Tindell. She's just so lovely. I think I love her. She said, "What's he making next?" So Rashaud, you sent me a clip of something we're going to show here of something you're working on now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this next project you got going on?
All right, so I have a great family friend. His name is Garrett Bush, Bryson Bush, Trent Bush. Those are my brothers, man. That's actually how I was able to live vicariously and play football through him. I didn't get his injuries, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah, he is literally a celebrity in Cleveland doing the radio, and I was actually doing a documentary for I was doing a documentary about Ken McKinley. Or I started to do a documentary about Ken McKinley, and then he approached me with this concept, and I was like, yeah, okay, that might be okay. And then he just did it. He just did a rough run. I watched it literally for 2 minutes, and I realized like that's what I need to be doing next. So
Wow.
yeah, it is an awesome concept. There's a void in the game. We don't have music countdown shows anymore. But we're gonna bring that back, but we taking it up a notch, man. So if anybody out there trying to copy, think he's gonna do a music countdown show, nah, we got something for it, man. It's very unique, man. And yeah, go ahead and roll the clip, man.
Let's check it out.
Nothing gets more contentious than when you gotta debate 5 things. If I tell you right now, give me your 5 favorite candy bars, and I tell you 3 of them is gonna be a Snickers, a Twix, and a Baby Ruth, 3, 4, 5 people gonna be pissed off because they're like, Snickers is overrated. You forgot Almond Joy, you forgot Milky Ways. 5 is the perfect number. And what better way to debate 5 when you got 3 people who debate for a living? I'm 38 years old, and I witnessed my brothers still tussle, argue, wrestle, fight with passion. And they do it for free. Everything you see that we do, we shoot by ourselves, we run by ourselves, we shoot, we light, we invest in ourselves.
So for me, it's always about taking a risk and taking them chances. This might work. It may not. Right? We can put a lot of time, energy, and effort into it and take L's. We can put our money, we got cameras, we got to invest in time, we got to invest it with just energy and effort and finding business and finding venues and gas money, and we've written studio space. Like, we can do all that. And it could be, we can get 6 likes on Instagram and 4.5 followers on Facebook. Look, if you ain't trying to get money yourself in some way, shape, or form, if you don't get money, you're not gonna get none.
I think that, what's harder than not succeeding is regret. You know what I'm saying? Because the feeling of regret means you didn't even attempt to do anything. How many times, have we talked about, since we've been alive as brothers, talking about doing stuff together as far as our creativity, putting projects together.
You need to go celebrate this momentous occasion.
We got an opportunity to have them debate it out, whoever makes the best argument. And plus, you as a fan get a voting voice in this thing. And it's from all genres, pop. We may even do country topics. We're all over the place with it. We just gonna have fun with it, man. And just like brothers do, we're gonna argue, we're gonna fight, we're gonna be passionate. And we want y'all to argue, fight, and be passionate in these comment sections and stick up for your top 5, man. We're entrepreneurs. We did this with our own money, our own funds. We market our own self. We're going all around the world. I'll give you a little hint on that one. All around the world, we're going to take you everywhere behind the scenes, from building our own set by hand. We'll take a look behind the scenes of how we run our own clothing line, how we run our own marketing campaigns, how we own our own equipment. And that's what we just looking to do, to build and build some positive energy out here. That's what we on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Once again, Hollywood. I mean, you got people. I know him. I know those guys. You know, you got to look at Hollywood celebrities. I mean, G. Butch can pull it off for sure.
Man, he's awesome, man.
Amazing. That's tell us about that. That's something that's coming soon.
That like I said, that putting that together, man, that was an experience, man. Like, you know, when you have brothers, man, like there's a dynamic that you just can't fabricate. You know, they've been arguing for 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, so when you put them in a room and you put a topic together and you see them go back and forth and you hear the little jokes and all that kind of stuff, I was just like, man, that, like, you can't duplicate that, man. Like, I could grab celebrities all day and they might be funny and entertaining, but that chemistry is homegrown. You know what I'm saying? That's authentic. And so I said, hey, man, let's do it, man. Put all our time and energy and everything that we had into that, you know what I'm saying, that particular moment. We got stopped because of the coronavirus. We had to stop production for that, man. But it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, and I think that we're actually gonna be contributing back to the music game, man. And that's something very encouraging, man.
Awesome. Everybody's loving it. People are excited about it. People are excited about what you're doing. I want to show one more piece that I have a special guest tomorrow. I've mentioned Sexy Rob Thompson. Tomorrow is going to be on live. We're going to be on live at 12:30 p.m. with a brief interview, and then we're going to be live at 7 p.m. Eastern with a live concert. You don't want to miss it. Get you a glass of wine, have an in-house date night, sit down, turn it on and relax. If you can't stare at it the whole time, turn it on, let the music play, all right? I want to give you guys I shared a little bit of this the other day. This is a piece from Sexy Rob, from Rob Thompson, that was actually done also by my man Rashaud, who was also the filmmaker behind this really cool piece here with Rob Thompson and done by Rashaud Polk. Check this out. We're gonna have a party tomorrow. Y'all don't want to miss it. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Y'all don't want to miss this tomorrow. 7 p.m. live. All right. We're going to cut it there. All right. We're going to end the show. Thank you so much. You got another special guest there. Why don't you tell us who this beautiful young lady is?
I'm sorry. What'd you say? I couldn't hear you, my daughter.
Oh, I said you have another special guest here.
Oh, yes. This is my daughter. This is Raina. She is actually going to be a better filmmaker than me. She's already really, really good. So, yes, she is amazing. So, she actually is crazy. When I first started doing this, she was a baby, and so I literally had to do my editing with her on my lap. Wow. And yeah, so that definitely helped me learn how to concentrate. But she's awesome, man, and she's my inspiration. My son, my wife, everybody, man. Like, doing stuff for your family, man, that really changes your perspective on how you do your thing.
Absolutely. Rashaud, my friend, thank you so much for joining the show tonight. Please, anytime you have something new going on, please send it my way. Please come back on the show. Love to continue to have this conversation. Want to continue to inspire people, show everybody the great work that you're doing. Let people know that somebody like you is out there doing this kind of work, changing lives. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much, man. And I look forward to working with you, man. And I look forward to you helping me out getting my LinkedIn together.
Hey, you know what? I'm still in the LinkedIn game.
Absolutely.
I can still help you with your LinkedIn. Thank you all to the audience. People are shouting out Raina. Miss Raina, we all love you. Everybody loves you. Thank you all. People are saying great show. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. Thank you all for being here. Good work. Thank you so much, Sharon. Love. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharon,
Thank you so
tuning in
much,
to this
guys.
show. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Melita, thank you so much. That looks like Raina there in the picture, Raina. I think that's you.
It is. She is
That's
superstar.
you.
She's everywhere, man.
Right. Tyler, my man, thank you so much for your
Thank you, man.
continued support. Montel, thank you so much for being here. Charles, my wife, everybody. Keep sharing this broadcast. Do your own watch party, replay it, let other people see it, let other people know what's going on here. We'll be back again tomorrow night. I love my man, your brother. I love the SpongeBob. That's your brother there. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate everybody and everybody's support. We'll see you guys again tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live on all these platforms again with Saxy Rob Thompson. And we'll be back on 7 p.m. tomorrow for the first ever live concert on the Lucas Tindell Show. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everybody have a great night.
All right.